Okay, so I've got the you win text the way I want it. It's different than it was when the way Scratch does it, where you have the show variable versus hide variable. Actually, that was another variable I created called name, because I want to show you another thing that you can do with this sort of thing, which is a little different. You could actually make text like this follow an object around on the screen. So I'm going to give, I created a new variable called name, and it has the value that I gave it of Bob. And I want to print this on the screen. I'll show you. I've set up the look of it. It's going to be white. And in fact, the text field, I've changed the size of it, and I'm going to give it a background color too. And I want this to be above the sphere, and I want it to follow around as the player moves. So when the game starts, I want to start another forever loop, and this one will have the print of the variable name. It'll go to the object, the character, and if you go to the sensing drawer, you can get the X position of the player and the Y position of the player. But you're going to have to offset that a little bit. We want it to be above the player, so we're going to add something to the Y value so it goes above it. And remember that the thing is centered at the upper left, so we want it not to be here, but we got to shift it to the left a little bit. So instead of going to the X position of the sphere, this thing should go a little bit to the left so it looks centered. So I'm going to subtract, let's say, 15. And so that should happen all the time, and then we'll have to update it so that it does what it's supposed to. So that might be a little high. Maybe set it to 55. And remember, the print is required to update it. If you didn't update it, it wouldn't show any changes. So now when we play, hopefully we have a name that can follow. And this can change dynamically. So I could, let's see if I can set name to something off to the side here. Set name to 0. There, dynamically change the name, and it still follows them around. So that's something a little different that you couldn't do with plain Scratch as of yet. And like I said, this is a little nicer for games, and it's a little bit more like how you'll use this, displaying information in Unity. So hopefully you followed along, and this wasn't too bad. And in the next video, I'll tell you a little bit about how you can get started doing this exact same game, this exact same project, with all the same parts to it, but in 3D using yet a different tool, Unity. See you then.